Hey everyone, I'm Tiffany Harlick, and you are here for a free workshop on the astrology of abundance and prosperity. So this was a hot topic. When I started thinking about this, I had no idea that 200 people were going to register. So when you start thinking about abundance, when you start intentionally creating abundance, working with the energy of prosperity, it comes in. Right. So I've been working with Jess and Donna, who you can see are spotlighted. They're spotlit because they are our special guests.
Amazing.
These are my secret weapons. This is the secret sauce. I'm going to provide you with solid astrological data. Jess is going to give you some practical tools to build your intentional wealth building ecosystem. And Donna is going to bring it home with some energy work through a meditation at the end. And let me tell you, we have been so excited to work with you in this capacity. I have been praying for you guys. I have been excited to see what the energy holds this afternoon. So before we get going, I thought it would be cool to talk about just a few opening thoughts while people are still filtering in. And so one of the reasons I wanted to create this particular workshop is that we're having a shift in the astrology with Jupiter moving into Cancer, which you'll see in the slides. But this shift, right, this shift was also a big part of the work of Napoleon Hill. And I thought we could start with his definition of success. You have your own definition of success, but this one definition really speaks to me, so I wanted to share it. And it's the knowledge to get whatever you want from life without violating the rights of others and by helping others to acquire it. So yeah, this is about helping others, lifting up the tribe of humanity. We are your team here to help you, and we want to encourage you to help other people as well, and just kind of keep that chain going. Another kind of caveat I wanted to acknowledge before we enter the data side of things is that, right, like we want to, our human minds want to set goals and make X amount of money and be at this level in Q1 and Q2 and reassess and have things like so controlled, right? But spirit might have you in a different season. So if you are not in a season where your business is blowing up or you're getting out of debt or whatever, if you're not in that season, that's okay. What we want to do is give you the tools to align with that which you want to create intentionally in your life. And that is going to require both physical stuff, mental stuff, and spiritual stuff. So we're here to deliver that this afternoon. Um, if you will, I would love for you to commit with me to this phrase. Here it is. I just want you to declare, maybe to yourself, maybe to your journal, I will no longer participate in my own suffering. Okay, I will no longer participate in my own suffering. I will no longer participate in my own suffering. So you're not going to live smaller. You're not going to dial yourself down. We are going to address some of these blocks that you're having or struggles that you're having. Um, and if you would be so bold to just drop me a number in the chat on a scale from, like, let's say 1 to 10. 10 is like, everything's fine. My life is prosperous. I'm intentional. I have my structures in place for building my wealth. I've got a grip on my energy. That's 10. 1 is I'm in a total full body energetic freak out. So tell us where you are with your relationship to money and prosperity. 1 being I'm in kind of emergency mode, 10 being I'm at the top of the world and actually I should be teaching, right? So let us know where you are. All right. I want to acknowledge that abundance and success feels different in our bodies. We have different aura types, we have different Mercury placements, we have different social conditioning, we have different parents and cultural cues. And so abundance and success is going to feel different, right, to each of us. And so even though I read that one definition of success earlier, I want you to come up with yours so that there can be some kind of relief in your nervous system when you start to build on that experience over and over. Okay, I have some more quotes. I'm going to save them for later. I am going to start our workshop because we have a lot of material to get through. Checking in the chat, it looks like we are ranging from twos, ones, all the way up to, what's our highest one? 7, 8, amazing, okay. All right, so we have a 9. Hey. All right, so we have a broad range of people that are here in different nervous system experiences, and I want to honor that. Wherever you are is the right place to be. So here is our presentation. You guys can see that okay? Lovely. All right. Let's see. So again, I'm Tiffany Harlick. I'm our host this afternoon. In part 1, I'm going to give you some astrology data. Like, I know if you guys like astrology as much as I do, put that in the chat. Let me know if you are into looking at the stars and coming up with dates, right? This is a challenge because we tend to want to control things or plan things or hold things accountable to a certain date. I want you to soften around those hard edges and just let me offer you the weather forecast, the financial weather forecast, and work with it within your own system. But I'm going to give you the historical perspective of what's going on astrologically. I'm going to give you the dates you came for. I'm going to give you the areas to invest that you want to hear. And then in part 2, we're going to shift into this practical side with both Jess and Donna. I meant to introduce them more clearly. I think I got excited in the beginning, but before we get to their part in the slides a little bit later, I want you to meet my friend Jess Yonda. She is my health and wellness coach, my nutritional coach. She's also my financial coach. She is one of, if not the smartest woman I know. She is a Virgo. She has integrity beyond measure. She cares about this earth. If I could describe one word for her, it would be intentional. And so if you are here for those things, she's a rock star. This is my friend, but I lean on her to direct these incredibly important areas of my life. And so in order for me to give to you all, I'm giving you my dream team, right? So today, Jess will be giving you these practical tips towards the end. In terms of building your intentional wealth building ecosystem. And I also want you to meet my friend Donna, who is also part of my personal team. My life completely changed when I started working with Donna. Again, thank you to Judith, who's with us in the audience. Donna works with energy in a place of such high integrity. I experienced shifts in my life like no other when I'm working with her. And it's because we can say our intentions and kind of get our brains on board. But if the energy isn't also believing what we're saying up here, it's going to fall apart, right? So today we're giving you the dates, the practical tools, and then the energy behind it. So you are set up for success, guys. We love you. We care about you. This is my one slide to give you some housekeeping. Because I believe in giving to others before and serving, right? Before we move on. If you go to my shop tab, shop happy at tiffanyharlick.com, and you use the code prosperity 2025, you can have the digital calendar for $15 off. And this is the last time I'm going to offer a coupon for this calendar this year. So I want you all to have that. And I also have a PDF for you. It's called Your Money Hotspots. I'm going to address a little bit later. This is the only time I'm going to give you this, so don't worry, it's not a big sales pitch, but take a screenshot and grab it with the coupon if you want. So in terms of historical perspective and the key planets and dates, that's what we're going to jump into right now. The 2025 forecast, I encourage you guys to watch if you haven't already. You'll see some of the same data. The thing that we're really excited about is that Jupiter, right, the planet of abundance and expansion and prosperity and wealth, is moving from Gemini, where it's in detriment, doesn't like to be there. Gemini is too much information, too many tabs open. How many of you feel like you have so many projects going on, you don't know where to start right now, right? That's Jupiter and Gemini. It can be information overwhelm. The key word is discernment. And so it's moving from this place of high energy, curiosity, thinking things through, social butterfly, Gemini energy into Cancer, right? Which is a much different, softer, exalted energy state. I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm saying Jupiter prefers to wear a Cancer cloak over a Gemini cloak. That's just the nature of Jupiter, right? So Jupiter in Cancer is what we're going to get into next. These are the keywords for Jupiter. Jupiter is big, right? Jupiter is finances, it's foreign trade, it's adventure, it's overseas, it's foreign cultures, foreign languages, foreign recipes. Jupiter bloats, okay? Jupiter is our ideologies, our philosophies. It's where we get behind the pulpit and have something to preach about. Represents the guru, the god. It represents growth. It's an amplifier. Jupiter is the cosmic magnifying glass, for better or worse. Sometimes we blow things up with Jupiter that we make mountains out of little molehills, right? Sometimes when Jupiter's transiting your first house, all of a sudden you gain a lot of weight and you don't know what happened. Sometimes when Jupiter's transiting your 10th house, you're here for a career change. And it's like, no choice. It's just, I'm pivoting, I'm doing something else. It represents a 12-year cycle. So wherever Jupiter in Cancer is in your start begins a 12-year cycle this summer. Cancer, right? This is the intuition. This is emotional intelligence. This is the mother. Cancer rules the breast, the stomach, and the womb. It rules nursing. It rules like the hospitality industry, the I want to take care of you vibes. The challenging side of Cancer can ease into controlling really quickly, right? How many of you have Cancer placements and can relate to getting a little bit too controlling with the energies because you want to take care, or you want to fix something, right? Cancer rules the bloodline, housing, homeland security. It rules nostalgia, ancestors, cooking, the kitchen, right? And so you can see we're going to have an expansion or an increase in these areas for about a year period. Of course, there's a taboo side of Jupiter and Cancer as well. And so I want to acknowledge my colleagues, Astrology by Celeste and Sarah L. Harar, who contributed this. With their permission and awareness, I've used some of this language from our 2025 panel. And so Celeste pointed out, you want to be aware when Jupiter squares Saturn, right? We're going to see Jupiter laws and Saturn restriction. We're going to see some kind of laws about contraception or declining birth rates or monetizing prisons. All of these things we can take them on the taboo side as well. We might see housing loans or lawsuits against housing scams. Of course, immigration law is actually huge in the media right now, but we wrote this last September. So yay, our predictions came true. Bad. But travel bans, mass expulsions, we're seeing all those things. These, again, slides were written well before our media has changed the narrative here. So you might see some different things going on with family law, food law, and in terms of the areas that Cancer rules in the body, which is the breast, stomach, and belly, we might see either disease or medical breakthroughs in those areas. So these are the hot topics. So if you came today because you wanted some investment strategies and you're basing it on Jupiter and Cancer, that's a pretty good bet to base it on. You're going to see these three things are connected. People are going to want to increase their territory. This could be a year where you decide you get a little camper and make it an Airbnb investment. This could be an expansion of your home. This could be that more people move in, or you adopt a whole bunch of pets. There can be more energy in your home. You might, right? I have friends that are moving overseas now. I have people that we've seen in the media too, like this desire for the United States to rename the Gulf, to take over Greenland. Now, whatever's going on with Gaza, right? I'm not turning this political, but the media headlines are already there. There's an expansion of territory desired in the energy. So how can you make that personal and work in your favor in a way that is in alignment with your own integrity? What you take care of this year will be multiplied. That's the nature of Cancer and the womb, right? What you put in is going to be multiplied and given back to you tenfold. That's why we want to give you so much value in this workshop. And that's what we're here to do today, to serve you guys. You also want to be careful about weight gain through food. The Jupiter and Cancer periods in history, we tend to see these larger than life household names, which I'll get into. Historically, right? The last time Jupiter was in Cancer, about 12 years ago, 2013, 2014, what was going on in your life? Look back in your journal, see, is there a new theme? See if you're feeling a sense of completion around those themes, what was happening. the astrology will wow you, right? So we also see these themes of land, race, family, bloodlines, soil, and women. So I've given you some timeline ideas about what was happening here with Jupiter in Cancer. The Napoleon Hill's Master Key came out in 54, and that's what we're gonna study a little bit about that later. But you can see that on, I believe it's on Prime for free. It looks like it charges you, but it doesn't. Yeah, there's a baby boom. We increased the household. The Great Depression, there was a magnification of no food, right? So which way is it going to go? It's like up to the collective consciousness. These riots against the KKK here in February, there's a lot of Black history movies in my feed, and so I've been rewatching some of them. Selma, Sydney. There's just a lot, and there's one called The Black Klansman, and I thought right, like I haven't seen it yet, but I thought, oh, odd, how interesting that those the dark themes are there as well too. So interesting, right? Alabama seems to be central to the themes that I'm seeing. We also see themes of sudden peace, where the Berlin Wall falls, where the end of apartheid happens. So Homeland Security is invaded, right, by foreign forces. These are the themes in history. A short look at that. But the themes looking at in history will also help you understand and recognize the flavor as you start to see it in the media. So what can we do with this? We can nurture generously. We can love each other. We can love our tribe up. We can take care of our bellies, our gut microbiomes. We can rebalance our gut microbiome systems. We can have peace in our bodies, right? We can look at lots of these other themes here too. So Jupiter in Cancer, since we're talking about money and prosperity, I wanted to draw up Warren Buffett's chart because he has Jupiter in Cancer. And the takeaway from this slide is that he does not market get rich quick schemes. So if Jess is smiling because she teaches this in her course.
And just real quick, you're not sharing your screen anymore. If you are thinking that you're sharing the slides, we might want to share that.
I was seeing the screen.
You are, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
I have my view wrong. Sorry about that.
No, that's no problem. Let me reshare. So yes, Warren Buffett, the main thing is we are not.
So now it's not
going
sharing.
to be.
Sorry.
We are not, what's that?
Okay, now it started sharing again.
Here, I'm just resetting it. Is that good? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So we're not going to be marketing get rich quick schemes, right? We're looking for long-term growth, putting things in a system that you can trust, sticking with it. We're not going to have this erratic financial behavior. That's not Jupiter in Cancer. That's not the lesson of Warren Buffett. We are talking about long-term common sense investing strategies. We're not getting wrapped up in the world of crypto in this conversation. We're not getting wrapped up in the world of doing something that's all of a sudden going to manifest, right? We're going for an energetic nervous system reset that allows for true abundance and prosperity in your life. And so this is a good chart example of somebody who has Jupiter in Cancer. There's a familiarity with this person, whether you like them or not. There's a confidence, there's a certain comfort zone that people have when talking about investment strategies. And the other thing you can do, you can look at is what legacies are you wanting to support, the things that you love, like the foundation that Buffett set up for his wife, for example. So support legacies could be something that you are considering this year. Another character that has Jupiter in Cancer is John Wayne. Can you see that still? Are we still cooking? Okay, cool. So cooking, Cancer keyword. So with John Wayne, he has a different chart, doesn't he? He's got Jupiter in Cancer in the second house. This is the money-making house, the income house. Jupiter and Cancer are these large household names. So if you're going to be the next Food Network chef, this might be your year to be the household name, right? In whatever your department is. And so set yourself up for success. Have your headshots done, have your website spruced up, have your intentions clear. But yeah, his is conjunct Neptune within 1 degree. His Neptune is in 10 degrees of Cancer, Jupiter's at 11 degrees of Cancer. So all of my astrology friends, right? Neptune it spiritualizes, blends, dissolves, takes away, right? Breathes out. So Jupiter there, what happened with him? It's that this story of easy come, easy go. He lost his big fortune twice to people he trusted, right? And so trust is a key note of Cancer. So I want to warn you, if it looks too good to be true, perhaps it is, or perhaps you're on a crash course and that's just part of your design to learn through mistakes. I certainly have. But what we need to know is, he invested in something that he really, really, really believed in twice and lost it all twice, right? So fall down 7 times, stand up 8. I wanted just to throw in there that I have an entire page on my blog dedicated to Jupiter and Cancer horoscopes. So if anybody is like, okay, how does this apply to me specifically, rather than going through it in the workshop, you can go to tiffanyharlick.com and get Jupiter-in-Cancer and find the horoscopes there. So if you're interested in that, I invite you to visit. We're going to shift and talk about everything else. Jupiter was a big topic. The rest are shorter topics. So Venus, of course, shows us our connection to values, source material, income. Venus is the goddess of love, also money. I have a client story where she was talking about her relationship, and she was saying, these guys, I'm always last place. They never put me first. I'm an afterthought. And I said, how do you spend your money? How do you pay attention to your money? And how do you balance your checkbook, whatever? She said, oh, I don't even think about it. I'm like, right. There is, I'm here to tell you from my client base, there is a relationship between how you are in your relationships and your money flow. Okay, so you can have financial sobriety. This is going to require that you get honest, that you get clear, and Jess is going to talk about that in her section. So the orbit of Venus is 225 days. She stays in a sign roughly 4 to 5 weeks, so about a month. And so she's going to be moving from Pisces into Capricorn. And I want to minimize this and show you. Can you guys see this still? This is Venus in 2025. So lots of resources on my website here. Open hands, open heart. That's Venus, right? So just stay open hands with things. So this is a posture of both giving and receiving. So if you find yourself controlling, worrying about money, hanging on too tightly, wringing your hands, use that phrase, open hands, and that might soften you up to be able to get in a receptive place. So may you see the beauty all around you in 2025. I have to bring up a couple of other resources here. Our friend Stormy Grace has an incredible Venus Reset program. If you click on that, this is an affiliate link that I have, and Stormy is really leaning into the Venus coaching, and she has done this incredible reset program that I wanted to share with you guys. Suzanne Gerber, another astrologer that I love and adore. This is a free workshop all about Venus and the evolutionary promise of your Venus. So if Venus is of interest to you, check that out for sure. Okay, good. Let me present again. So I can't talk about money without talking about Venus, but there's so much minutia, I didn't want to get into it. That the asteroids that are involved with money, Ceres is the first one. And so this is an asteroid of resources and how we think about money. And so you can see I've got the orbit here for you, but in 2025, it's going to move from Aquarius to Pisces and to Aries. So the area in your chart that this is going to affect, you can know that. What house is your Aquarius, your Pisces, and your Aries? All right. And so here it is broken down a little bit. Right now, Ceres is in Aquarius. Aquarius is detached. So we can feel a sense of detachment from material things, which is a great place to zoom out and dial in your wealth building ecosystem. You're not as worried, frantic, panicked about the outcome of things. Aquarius is for the people. There can be a focus on how can we use our resources in the best way possible. How can we be good stewards of the resources we have as a group of people? You might see an increase in crowdfunding, or if you need to crowdfund, this might be an ideal moment. Ceres will then move from Aquarius, the collective, into Pisces, right? From here, these dates. So Ceres in Pisces, it's a total vibe shift. We feel more philanthropic. We feel more charitable. We want to be more involved in the arts. It might be an opportunity for you to support arts or join the arts as a money-making thing for you. It might be the time that you write the next national best-selling book, or a beautiful song, or a beautiful meditation that just increases on Insight Timer or something like that, right? It brings you some extra money because you dipped into your intuition and creative side. Then come May, Ceres will move into Aries. And so this is a big topic because there's, Neptune, Saturn are moving into Aries, big discussion. Lots of planets are moving into one degree of Aries. And at this point in the sky is fixed star curb. Fixed star curb rules betrayal and abandonment. And Venus is there right now as we speak today in this moment. And so there are lots of opportunities to heal the betrayal that when we betray ourselves. It's not about the betrayal that happens out there, but where we ignore our own nervous system, where we ignore our own heart. So with Ceres and Aries, this might be a moment where you are like, enough is enough. I am getting hyper focused. Aries, Mars, pointy, focused, right? Okay, money. This is not the astrologically correct symbol for the asteroid of money. I couldn't find it in Canva. So this orbits about 5 years. It's going to move from Scorpio into Sagittarius. This is good, right? Because Scorpio rules resources. It rules power. It rules gold underground. It rules transformation. It rules complete total makeovers. It rules the mystery, it rules alchemy, things like this. And Sagittarius is the adventure of life. These are my two main signs, so I'm particularly excited about this placement. So Scorpio rules the 8th house, sex, death, taxes, inheritances, stocks, bonds, joint ventures, 8th house things, the sex industry. I'm not recommending that. I'm just pointing it out. Money that comes from other people. Debts, credit cards, you might be consolidating your debts. You might be consolidating your loans. Don't get in over your head, right? Know your numbers. Jupiter in Cancer is going to support these one-on-one investments. So real estate deals that happen maybe under the table. When money will go retrograde in Scorpio, and this is exacerbated because Mercury and Venus are also going to be retrograde at the same time. And so here we want to repair anything. Like if you owe somebody money, try to get them paid up. Don't let that linger, right? If you've got a bad financial deal, go back to them and rework it. Like karmically reset any things that feel sticky with your money and get it all cleaned up. By the end of the year, it's going to enter Sagittarius. And so you might be like, I'm ready to invest in a big travel experience, or I want to go back to school, things that are ruled by Sagittarius, higher education. And again, this is exacerbated by a Mercury retrograde period. So it could be like that place you always wanted to go to, but didn't quite get to, or that area of study that just is always called to you that you didn't quite get to. Sag rules the judge and the court as well. And so I just want to be aware that we don't want to throw all our money into fights that aren't worth fighting, because nobody wins except the lawyers. So I just want to be offer that in the spiritual program of recovery, one of the principles is that we stopped fighting, and that this is a principle that has worked miracles in my life that I would never have thought possible, because the world will tell you, right? This is how you fight. This is how you defend. And the spiritual program of recovery is not that, right? It is not that. And it's also about attraction and not promotion. So the world will tell you how to market and sell things, but that's not what we're doing today. We're working on our energetic frequency. Okay, the next one is banks. Again, this is not the right symbol for banks, but this is the asteroid of saving and financial planning. It's going to be mostly in Capricorn and Aquarius this year. And so banks in Capricorn is good for the government. It's good for institutions. It's good for the oligarchy. That's Capricornian type things. So Capricorn is great for wealth building for the future. And if you've previously made some long-term investments, you might see some payoff around this time, depending on how it hits your chart. This demands good stewardship and responsibility with finances, and something that Jess is going to talk about in her slides is planning and tracking your finances. So this is an awesome, awesome, awesome time to be getting serious and intentional about planning and tracking your finances. And she has systems that she's going to share with you for that. So at the end of the March through the end of the year, EOY banks will be in Aquarius. Okay, so AI infrastructures, like y'all, I moved to Abilene. Y'all know that I bought a house in Abilene and I love it here. I'm so happy. And then I see. No problem. Okay, so I moved to Abilene and then I see that there is this $500 billion AI facility moving here. I don't think it's going to create like jobs, or it is going to create some kind of questions that need to be addressed about environmental stuff. But AI infrastructures is very Aquarius, and here we are. So I'm pointing out what I'm seeing in the media from my little place on Earth. You're going to see it differently too, right? So big business is going to meet tech and robotics. I've had people call me about, and they're doing like robotic kitchens. So instead of paying people to chop vegetables, the robots are doing it. Jupiter, Cancer, banks, Aquarius, it all adds up, right? Aquarius is about the masses and the future. This slide I condensed way down. This is for my master astrologers. This is not for everybody. Once you have come up into your astrology prowess, you want to study Chiron in terms of money. This is not a popular subject. The Magi astrologers work with Chiron in terms of finances and love links. And so if you are going to take my master astrology course, which starts on February 18th, we are going to go in depth on this because it's important to study and it's a lesser known area. But Chiron, as reported by the Magi astrologers, these are the golden links of Chiron. These are the silver links. They're both money-making links. So if your Venus touches that business's Chiron, if your Jupiter touches that business's Chiron, we're looking at synastry links here. And so that requires we're looking at two charts. And if these things happen, there is a story. There's a big story and there's a big money story. And some examples are Bill Gates and Microsoft, Dell, Fleetwood Mac, the Stones, the Beatles, Sean Connery, and specifically the James Bond producers, right? Not just his blessed chart, but specifically those producers, Clint Eastwood, and also certain producers. So I wanted to throw that in there for my master astrologers. Where is this in your chart? What does that mean for you, right? If we are going to do a financial reading for your chart, we want to look at the second house. We want to look at your second house. We want to look at where all of those asteroids are transiting through your chart specifically. What planet are they talking to? What story is being told? What's wanting to be created through you to create more prosperity and abundance in your life? What is being whispered to you that you're like, blah, 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 like not listening to? Where's your part of fortune? Where is Saturn? What are you afraid of? Where do you need regulation? Where do you need rules? There is a video I did on the asteroids on my YouTube that I am going to put in the replay link for you. It's free. If you are interested in studying Ceres, then this will help you because it goes all the way through all of the houses and it will speak to your chart specifically. And I mentioned that I also have this PDF of your money hotspots. I went through 21 critical degrees in 2025. And so thought I gave you a few of them. It looks like I just deleted the slide. Well, 3 degrees is one of them. So if you have a planet in 3 degrees of Aries, Sagittarius, and one more from my slide that I deleted, you are going to have a money story unfolding. So do you have 3 degrees of Sagittarius? Do you have 3 degrees of Aries with a planet there? We want to talk about it. Is it on an angle house? First house, fourth house, seventh house, 10th house? There's a story. So if I can help you, let me know. Otherwise, there is a PDF in my shop tab where you can get my list of the 21 degrees. I think I priced it at $12 or $8. I made it very affordable. If you've gotten anything out of this so far, I encourage you to check that out and also, right, return the blessing. So I appreciate you guys looking at that. I've spent a lot of time in it, and I think it's really valuable to know those critical degrees in your chart. So this isn't a big part of why you came. These are the dates. These are the best months are in green. The challenging months are in red here. And I also gave you a little keyword for each one. So I'm looking at this by quarter, green light dates, red light dates. I'm not going to read all these, don't worry. What I want to tell you, and I wanted you to see the data and what I was looking at. These are the positive aspects of the asteroids, the money asteroids, and these are the challenging aspects. And I let's see, I picked out one to talk about in each thing. So in February, Banks in Capricorn is sextile money in Scorpio. This is the moment to be doing your financial planning. And here we are on this moment, February 6th. Now is the time to be doing your financial planning. So highlighted in the skies, you're in the right place. You're with the right people. You're with the right team here. February is all about long-term planning. And then in March, right, we want to consider what some of our backup plans might be. So when you're building your own business, you're going to do things like risk assessments. You're going to figure out what's the worst case scenario and what do we do about it? What are my action steps? This isn't to put energy on it, but it's to be aware, intentional, and clear. So in March, we start eclipse season, right? We'll have 2 eclipses in March. I think this one is particularly interesting because the Virgo lunar eclipse is going to oppose asteroid Ceres, right? Our attitudes about money. And I think this is when we're really going to see some of the job and workforce swings. Eclipse moments happen 90 days in advance. So we might already be seeing that, right? And we are already seeing that. But I feel like March is going to be more challenging than, say, February. So this is when February, this month that we're in at the time of recording, is when we want to get our ducks in a row. April, your focus financially is going to be on good stewardship. When you get to the end of your life, if there is a heaven, what do you want to hear, right, the master say to you? Somebody just asked me that right before we got on. And for me, I want to hear, well done. And so have I been a good steward of the resources that I've been given? Have I been a good steward of the bees? Have I been a good steward of my health and my wealth and my friends, right? And my business? And so April, I want you to consider those things and thank your lucky stars, especially around April 11th. If you need like, oh, I just need something to look forward to, I think this would be an interesting day to pay attention to what's going on and where to employ the attitude of gratitude. So as we move into May, our discussion on Jupiter is moving out of Gemini and into Cancer here in June. So there can be some trust fall feelings here in May. There can be a sense of something's about to change, because it is, right? So Banks is in Aquarius, right? The sign of the people, the network, the collective, is opposing Mars and Leo, fixed sign Leo, bossy pants, celebrities, cheerleaders, right? There's nothing bad about that. It's just there's a hyper awareness of passionate personalities and leaders. And with Banks opposite that, it's like the leader versus the people, right? Do you see that, guys? Banks in Aquarius, the people opposite Mars and Leo, the leader, the headstrong leader, the boss. We can feel a little bit out of control. So where's your surrender practice? What are you surrendering to? Who are you surrendering to? When you are in your prayer and meditation, who are you talking to? Developing that relationship with you and your creator or your higher power or the spirit within is going to be, I think, pretty necessary in June. In this quarter. And then in June, I think there's going to be a sense of relief that we'll get some new ideas and some growth happening. All right, this is going to be what I would consider the rocky quarter of the year. July, August, September, the forecast is a little whack. I think we're going to see some financial plot twists. So this is why if you have your wealth building ecosystem and your strategies in place now, here in February, when we get to this potentially challenging period, we're not going to be so surprised. We know where things are. We have our ducks in a row, and we're going to be able to face this with grace and patience and clarity, as opposed to just being financially not sober and not knowing where anything is and not knowing where the next thing's coming from, right? We already have our plan in place, and this is when we get to test it. Will we freak out and pull all our money out, or start a new job, or throw it away, or quit, or whatever? Or will we just stay the course, right? So my message is going to be stay the course. Jupiter in Cancer is stay the course. If that doesn't resonate with you, no problem. Be the wild child. But yeah, we have this crazy stuff going on in August where it matches with downturns of the stock market. It matches with a slowing of financial momentum. This is not something that anyone can predict. It just matches what has happened historically. So we won't be surprised if there is some large swing for better or worse. What are we going to do? Stay the course, right? We're just going to keep our plan. Fortunately, we have green lights for the end of the year. I think October can be a powerful money month. I think November payoffs from earlier will come in. Why? Because Ceres trines money both in April and November. So there's a link to your money narrative that's going on. Maybe you're investing in something with your health in April that will come back around for you in a positive way in November, but there's links there. And then in December, there's abundant energy. So what we're setting up today is good for you for the whole year. So we need to be able to have our nervous systems to ride the waves. There's the slide. I must have moved it. Okay, at least I said it correctly. 3 degrees, Aries, Sag, and Aquarius. If you know that you have a planet in that, put it in the chat. I would love to know that. And if you want the other degrees, please go to tiffanyharlick.com/shop happy and get my PDF so that we can have a conversation about that. Okay, here's the fun part. Did you have fun in part 1? Let me look at the chat. I'm behind. Did you have fun in part 1? 3 degrees, Jupiter and Sag. Beth, all right. Yes, we have one. Amazing. Nadine, Sun 6 in Sag. Yes, in 0. You have a moon in 0 Sag. Kim, if I'm Sagittarius, can you say if I have a good month for me? Well, we would need to do like a personalized look at that. But any month can be a good month. But if you want to access and activate astrology in your chart, we have to spend the time to look at your chart. And we do that in my membership every month. So for $29, if you want to come in, I can look at your chart and you can get other feedback too, for sure. So yes, you're having fun. Too fast. Sandra, I am known for that. I am so sorry. I go fast. I have Mars in my first house. I know most of my audience has an advanced understanding of astrology. So thank you for your patience and grace with me. Hopefully you can get the replay and slow it down if you need to. We're going to shift gears. I'm going to get off the mic. We're going to slow the nervous systems down. All right. Yes, so much value. Thank you. Bless you. So in order to on-ramp to introduce Jess and Donna's work here, one thing that I want to talk about is removing money blocks. So we all have these kind of ideas, these struggles. You can look specifically in your chart for your Saturn placement. It shows us where we have some financial fears, where we're too strict with ourselves, where we need to have some rules in place. It can really speak to the absent father wound that many people have, especially when it comes to provision and feeling taken care of, feeling provided for, feeling like somebody's looking ahead and taking care of us in a way. I also want to talk about something that Jess taught me in her course is about how we make decisions from a place of how our nervous system is activated or not. And I'm going to, hopefully you'll have a moment to address that. Intentional wealth building requires that we are very clear with our purpose. So we need to paint a clear and precise picture. So this stuff doesn't work if you're just hoping out there that your opportunity is coming. We need to be intentional and clear and have a precise picture of what it feels like, what it looks like, what it smells like, right? What the sweat is like, what the candlelight is like, whatever it is in your picture of what your life looks like when you're feeling that sense of prosperity. We have to have a very clear picture of it. Do you want to become work optional, right? Is that what you want? I'm curious. Do you want to write your own price tag? Do you want to establish your own working hours? Tiffany, Jess, and Donna are, just FYI, if we have our own working hours, we have our own price tag, and we are work optional. We are here because we want to help you, because we want to be a service to you, right? And I know that a lot of you guys here want that too. So back on my Napoleon Hill kick, right? When he was releasing some of his techniques about abundance, one of his big things was whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But there's no free lunch. There's no something for nothing. And the price, he says, is controlling our mental attitude. I am going to skip this slide since I have astrologically overwhelmed some of us. But he says, right, if you take possession of your own mind, if you control your thoughts, the riches you have are sound health, peace of mind, a labor of love of your own choice, becoming work optional, freedom from fear and worry, a positive mental attitude, material riches of your choice and quantity. The penalties you face if you don't take control of your thought life and get that clear picture and get intentional and do the things, right? The prices are ill health, fear and worry, indecision and doubt, frustration and discouragement, poverty and want. And in his words, a whole flock of evils, including envy, greed, jealousy, anger, hatred, and superstition. We don't want those things. And his keys include we can get around this through these steps. So please feel free to take a screenshot if you would like to take control of your mindset according to Napoleon Hill, who wrote this during a Jupiter in Cancer period. Number one, write a clear description of your major desire in life. Number two, write a clear statement of precisely what you want to give in return for that thing that you desire. So what is it that you're really going to give? And then start giving it, right? I'm going to give an hour of my expertise, but it wasn't just an hour. I spent days looking at those transits for you guys, right? So I'm giving my expertise. This matches up with the description of my major desire. So you start giving right now. In the boots that you're sitting in, you have something to give, right? Number three, memorize both of these descriptions or statements, what you desire and how you're going to give back. Always end with an expression of gratitude. The thing I have in gold is Napoleon Hill's. I ask not for divine providence for more riches, but more wisdom with which to accept and use wisely the riches I have from birth and the form of the power to control and direct my mind to whatever ends I desire. And he says that you have to express it with humble sincerity, which I love. The last tip is to form a mastermind alliance with at least one person in your immediate family and one person who you're selling your services to, right? So here's my mastermind, Jess and Donna. We all rise together. Take a screenshot because once we end with Donna, I'm not going to be leading you to any other sites. Here's this, right? So this is where you can find Jess. This is where you can find Donna. This is where you can find Tiff. Notice I put myself last, and that is the mentality that I want to employ here. We want to lift each other up first. Okay, so don't worry. Tiffany Firehose is turning off. I'm going to mute myself and welcome Jess next, and then we will end with Donna and her sweet meditation. All right, thank you guys. Okay.
Hi, everyone. Oh my goodness. Did Tiffany not just bring it? So much value, so many actionable things. Tiffany, well done. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I'm going to go back and watch the replay. I know, yeah, I cannot wait to get that and slow it down go back and just really like cross-reference everything in my own chart. So thank you so much for always bringing your heart and soul. You could feel it with everything that you say and teach. So thank you for that. And for those of you, I am Jessica Yonda. It's so nice to meet you. Just a little bit about me. I come from the corporate world. I designed trading systems for Wall Street my entire career. And then I hopped over to the passive investing side where I designed systems for passive investment funds. So I have since retired, and now I love teaching women how to hold and grow their wealth. I feel like there is such a missing component there when it comes to women and wealth building. Maybe it's a confidence thing. Maybe it is a trust yourself thing. Maybe it's not understanding how the system works. And so I love empowering women to put those systems in place to grow and compound their wealth. So like Tiffany said, you can become financially free. I would love to hear in the comments, is a work optional life something that you are working towards? Drop work optional in the comments. I would love to see how many of you, like, is putting the systems in place this year a priority for you to really get this dialed in? I would love to hear that in the comments. So what does it actually mean to be financially free? And it's a number of different things. It's time freedom, right? It's doing what you want with your days and not having anybody else dictate what you're doing. But to do that, it means you have to have enough money invested in cash flow generating assets to create that income, right? So that you don't have to be reliant on some sort of a job or a income source. And when you learn how to do that, you can buy back your time. And that's the goal, right? Because for a lot of people who are not walking in their gifts, you're just going day to day because you have to, like pushing the square peg in the round hole. Like freeing yourself up in order to bring forward your gifts is one of the best things you can be doing, not only for yourself, but the people around you. So dialing this in really is the best gift. And I'll just say that again, not only to yourself, but for the people that are around you and for your health, right? Because people are watching, your kids are watching. And when I mentor women, a lot of times they come to me in this panic state of like, well, how should I set my kids up? Or what do I need to do? What accounts do I need for my kids? And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We need to put the oxygen mask on ourselves first and model it, right? We need to model it for them. So that's what I love teaching, and that's what really fuels my soul. I'm going to read these comments here. Hey, Desiree. Oh, so good to see you on. Okay. All right. So let's jump into some of these systems that I use and that I teach women how to use. And something that I see, and maybe this is a lot of you, if you're in this workshop, it probably is you. You are a high achiever. You probably know how to make money, right? But for some reason, it just kind of sifts through and you don't know where it goes, right? You're like, I'm good at the making money part, but I'm not good at the holding and growing it and compounding it, right? If anybody can relate to that, I would love to hear. Drop a 1 in the comments if that's you. You know how to make money, but you're like, oh my goodness, like where did it all go? Okay, Evelyn, thank you. Awesome. That was me before. Tiffany, great. Awesome. Okay, well, this is going to start changing today. And it starts with, and if you want to go one slide next, that would be great. I don't know if I have the option to move the slides. Do I? Okay. So I love how Tiffany ended with that writing a clear vision of your life, right? Like one of my favorite all-time quotes ever is nothing becomes dynamic until it becomes specific, right? So we all want to live these big lives and do these things. And, we have these big visions on how we want to impact change, but then it's like, okay, we have to like walk that back and get really specific in order to map out the plan to get there, right? So we're taking that big vision and we're reverse engineering it. And that's what I mean by nothing becomes dynamic until it becomes specific. So I really want you, as you're thinking about writing out that clear definition of your life, and where you're going. This is a good time to start thinking about that, right? Like, where are you living in this ideal life? What does your ideal day look like? How much does it cost to live that life? Right? Really start thinking about that, because you can't financially plan for a life that you don't know what it is. Right? It's like we have to get specific around this. When do you want to be living that life by? Again, this is when I say work optional or even retirement, or maybe, you feel like you're getting a late start. A lot of the women I work with feel like that. You're not late, right? You are not, wherever you are is where you're supposed to be, and you're not late. So, but we have to figure out where it is you're going and how much that costs. And then we can put the plan in place. So retirement or work optional isn't, it's simply a number that we can reverse engineer. And then we can start to see, where do we pull the income sources from in order to live that life? Does that make sense? So that I just want you to start and putting some, thoughts in your head, getting the wheels to turn, because that's me. This is a purchase that I made a couple years ago. And I do that based on checking in with my core values. And I know Venus is all about values, right? So now is a really good time to revisit your core values and pick a couple. I'm going to drop Brene Brown's list of core values in the comments. Go ahead and save that link. This is a good time to look through it, pull a couple of those core values out and say, when I am making a purchase, is this getting me closer to a life of, insert your 2 to 3 core values? That's how I make every single purchasing decision now. And it'll be a game changer for you too, right? Because then you spend, on what lights you up, and then maybe you cut and stop spending on things you don't, right? And so something that I don't like doing is driving a car and sitting in traffic. So I no longer do that. I bought a golf cart, and I can drive it to the beach, to the grocery store, everywhere I need to go, my Pilates class, and I can work from it. And that is that's a definition of living an intentional life, right? So I just wanted to kind of get the wheels turning for you. What does that look like for you? And that's what we need to start with. The next thing, let me see. I love that, work optional. Yes, I mean, I don't have to work. I do this because I love teaching women how to build wealth, because I know this is going to get passed down to their kids. Everybody's talking about, like, working on their trauma. How about we not pass money, scarcity, money issues down to our kids, right? That one of the biggest issues, or one of the biggest drivers of mental health and health issues in general, is money, right? So it's like this cascade. Why don't we put this in place, have this in place, and not pass down the financial trauma, right? Okay, that's a little bit off my soapbox, but I really feel strongly about that, because everyone's in there working and doing their work, but they're not doing this work, which is like, really, this cascades in a much bigger way than anything else, because we live in capitalism. I don't know how else to say that, like we do, right? Everything is money based. So so that's number one, get intentional. Number two is get clarity, right? And I love to use Rocket Money for this. If you don't already have a way to track your spending, you're going to want to use an app or some tracking software. They don't actually connect and know your bank information. It's just an API access that gathers your transactions, and it allows you to categorize it in a way that you can say, huh, is this in line with my values, right? And so I love Rocket Money for this. Connect your spending accounts. So that's usually like a checking account and maybe 1 or 2 credit cards, maybe. And so, just keep it simple. And then this tool also allows you, and this is my actual, like, those are my reoccurring expenses there. So I'm a little bit vulnerable with y'all. So I have to go through and ask myself, does that Sirius XM subscription align with my values every month? So it allows you to see your reoccurring subscriptions, and you can cancel it and or negotiate it down. And then you can use that money to free up to then spend in alignment and in service of your core values. So I love this tool. It allows you to get your income, your expenses, and that's key, because you need to know the delta in there. That delta in there is the delta, meaning the free cash flow, in which we then can invest. So number two, get clarity. I love this tool for that. I use many tools, but this is a fun one. It makes it fun, because this sometimes isn't fun, right? Okay, and next slide, please. Okay, this I'm gonna get, let's see, great pick practical advice. Awesome. Okay. Thank you for sharing that, Kay. I am, like Tiffany said, the resident Virgo over here. So everything is going to be systems and optimization. And I really should be on Elon Musk's team in terms of optimizing the government right now, but I'm not. I'm jealous. Okay, so setting up your wealth building ecosystem. This may or may not, just know that this takes some time, but I wanted to kind of give you an idea of how I have mine set up. So, you have a bucket that is a cushion bucket. It's a high yield savings account. It's a money market. Interest rates are good right now. We're in a high interest rate environment. If you have cash sitting on the sidelines, making sure that's in an account that is 4% or greater, right? In an FDIC insured account. But then you have some accounts there where, I'm still in my 40s. So how do I live off of my investments? I have to have money generating income in accounts that I can access before 59 and a half, right? So those accounts in that part of my ecosystem is a brokerage account and a health savings account, right? So maybe you have the one or two of those or not, or maybe you need to put those in place. And then lastly is the retirement accounts. This is money that you are earmarked for retirement, right? And it's just earmarked for 59 and a half, whatever that means for you, right? And so regardless of where that money is, then what we do is we look at the asset classes in there. We design your portfolio based on, what your risk tolerance is, where you are in your life. And then that just cascades, that same structure cascades through all of these accounts. So that's a little in depth, but I wanted to give you just an idea of what you should start thinking about having in place. So this is your wealth building ecosystem. So if you take your expenses from the last slide and you multiply your monthly expenses by 12, by 25, and then again by 25, that's going to give you a rough idea of how much money you need to have set aside to generate the cash flow needed for a work optional life. So that's just a little, do that calculation. If you have that, it's fun to see. And then we reverse engineer how to get there. And that's where I love to get in and help women do this. So you use that to figure out your financial freedom number, as it's called, and then you use the accounts below to grow and compound your wealth. So I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. If you want to go to the next slide. Twice a year, I run a very small group collective where we go over 8 weeks. We go step by step by step how to do this and put everything in place. We'll do your cash flow clarity. We will put your accounts in place. We'll get your investment strategy in place. We will automate it. At the end, you'll come out with just like, now I can get back to my life, right? Because this is running in the background and you've done what you needed to do to be a good steward to your money, right? Who wants to be a better steward to money in this year, right? So it is 8 weeks, highly personalized. If this is something that you want to explore, I'm going to start my next one in the first week of March. So it's really dependent. It's a very small group that I take through. I only do this twice a year. So let me know. I'm going to throw my email address in this chat and just shoot me an email with the word collective and we'll see if this is a fit. And really, it will be education that you can pass down to your kids and your grandkids. So with that,
Okay.
I'm so grateful to be here with each and every one of you. And I'm so excited to do Donna's meditation that's coming up. I almost wish we would have done the meditation in between, right? So hopefully we didn't fire hose you too much. But there's so much to unpack when it comes to putting your ecosystem in place. So just know there's a lot more to it. But at the bare minimum, download Rocket Money, start getting intentional. And if you are ready to get a higher level of support, email me. Beth, why don't you go ahead and email me and we'll see if it's a fit. Thank you so much. And I'm going to turn it over to Donna. And I've been looking forward to this part this entire time. So I'm so excited to do this meditation with you.
Oh my gosh, Jess, that was amazing. Y'all, I just want you to know that I take Jess's class every time she offers it. It's not because I'm slow, because we know I'm fast. But I cannot get enough of how she plans. I wish I had this information sooner. And so if you do something for your financial health this year, she will help you and you will not feel ashamed or embarrassed or late. You will feel completely supported. I have referred all of my friends to Jess. I give her my special sweet people. She takes very good care of everybody. So if this part is calling you, please just shoot her an email. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay, so I also send all my special people to Donna, and before we transition to Donna in the meditation, I'm reading day 14 of the pivot year for you guys from Brianna Wiest, and this is what I've done, and this is what you're doing by being here. It says, move toward the people who expand your perimeter of possibility, who believe in your potential just a little bit more than your reality. Move toward the people who remind you of the person you know you're meant to be, the ones who stretch your soul and make you feel something real. Move toward the people who remind you of what you contain, who help you fall a little more in love with life. Move toward the people who energize you more than they drain you. These little signs are not so little. They are the markers of our soulmates in all the forms they come. So Donna and Jess are those people for me. They expand the perimeter of my possibility. And so I welcome Donna, if you'll tell us about you and then take us into space with the meditation.
Thank you so much, Tiffany, and thank you for having me here. I learned a ton about astrology, and so great connecting with you as well, Jess. And Jess, I loved when you talked about getting intentional, because for me and the work that I do, which I'll get into in a second, I do energy clearings. I tend to use words a lot. And for me, all words hold a frequency. And the word intent, having intent around something, really reverberates through all of your aspects, including your energy field. And so being very mindful and having an intent and then speaking it is really, really powerful, which is part of the reason why Tiffany and I decided, and she asked me to do a meditation for you all today, which I will get into in a minute. A little bit about me. So I'm Donna Henderson. I facilitate a variety of energy clearing services that basically, it's really, I do different services, but I customize them for the client based on what the needs are. The ultimate result is allowing you to be able to live a life that feels easier, feels like you have a sense of empowerment, and energetic sovereignty is really what I'm passionate about. We are the ultimate creators of our lives. We own our energy. We have an being able to have an understanding of how your energy works, which is unique to you, how your energy works and how you are able to navigate it, know when it's off, know when you might have been affected by either another person or collectively what's going on in the world, which there's a lot going on right now. So being able to discern what your correct energetic frequency is and know when it's out of alignment, and then be able to have tools yourself to help get yourself back into alignment. And if it's something you can't do, then that's where I come in and I help people to clear the energies that are being disruptive to their field, and resulting in, being able to really live the life that you're meant to live and have it feel correct for you. So I do all of that through working in the Akashic Records, which, if you're not familiar with the Akashic Records, they are like a database or a library in the quantum field that holds all the information about who you are as a soul. I do clearings in the Akashic records, energy clearings. I do something called energetic cord cuttings. We have negative energy cords with all of the people who we've ever had a relationship with. And so being able to remove those cords so there's no longer that hook that triggers you and activates you. It doesn't get rid of the person in your life, but it allows you to be able to not be activated in the same way any longer. And I also do personal energy checkups within your auric field, property clearings, and soul guidance. So those are just some of the things that I do. So Tiff, if you want to go to the next slide. I have put together a special offer for everyone who is on this call. It is what I call a high-level Akashic Records clearing. So it's live over Zoom, just over an hour and 15, hour and a half. And I tune into your Akashic Records, which again is like the library of all the information about who you are on a soul level. And we really clear any energy that you have come to the session with that is something that you are looking to let go of, that you are ready to let go of in your life. A lot of times people come with patterns. They're sick of the same cycle of whatever. Jess talked about financial trauma. I mean, it can be something like that. It can be something that you are aware of in this lifetime. It likely is something that is reverberating from other lifetimes. And so when we have experienced something in another lifetime, then it's in our energy field and it is holding that frequency. And by nature of how energy works, then it's going to attract situations of the same frequency. So it just continues. And so being able to clear that from our auric field allows you to be able to not have those sorts of patterns showing up in your life any longer. And then there's also ancestral patterns as well. So there's a special offer. I'm going to put the link in the chat, and then there's also a QR code if that's easier for you. So before I get into the meditation, which I am now about to do in 1 minute, back to what I was saying about intention, I specially created this meditation holding the field, the energy field of all who are tuned in, whether live or in the replay, holding that energy field, tuning into the energies of all who are registered here. And I very intentionally called in the words that held the frequency that would be of most benefit to all who are here. So with that, the only other thing I'm going to mention before I go into the meditation is, and I wasn't going to do this, but Tiffany, because you held up a book, I thought, well, this is a book that I've been using, and I will just show it if that's okay. It's called It's Not Your Money. I don't know if it shows up backwards or not, but it's called It's Not Your Money by Tasha Silver, and it's how to live fully from divine abundance. It's a really good book, and it's not very big. And it's really all about the frequency and energy of money. And it's not our money. Money is just energy that we are using as a tool as we traverse this earthly plane that we are on. So I recommend that. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start the meditation.
Real quick, I think this was a good question Sandra is asking.
Yeah.
The meditation is 7 minutes. So if you're like, oh my gosh, are they about to do an hour meditation? Grab your sip of water, and the expectation is around 7 minutes. So thank you for asking that question. Absolutely.
Yeah, good question. No, it's not an hour. I would have been writing for days, which I didn't. Well, maybe. Okay. So I'm just going to invite you to close your eyes and make sure you're comfortable. And begin taking some deep breaths as we journey together today. Breathing in deeply right down to your belly. Noticing your stomach rise. With each breath, imagine love and gratitude filling your lungs and permeating through each cell of your body. Taking long, slow out breaths, and with each exhale, feeling a release of any low frequency emotions, thoughts, or beliefs, sending them back to the universe for transmutation. I now call in the unified consciousness, the angels of light, the archangels, ascended masters, the overlighted ones, extraplanetary and extra-dimensional beings, the inner plane ascension teams, and the families of light of all of those on this call. We ask to be encircled by an impenetrable blanket of pure white light, emanating directly from Source as we tune into the divine codes of abundance. All that is not in highest resonance with these codes are now cleared, released, and transmuted. All thoughts, patterns, and beliefs that do not support your divine blueprint of prosperity from this lifetime or any other are no longer present in your reality. All burdens, financial or otherwise, are lifted and returned to the universe. All emotions not in alignment with your divine blueprint are released with gratitude for the purpose they served. You are now walking your pathway where it is safe to receive and experience abundance. Abundance of love, of time, of finances, blessings, and joy. You embody it all. You are a creator, embodying your natural state of abundance. You are a conduit for prosperity, surrounded and filled with a bounty of ease, peace, and love. You are living a new reality of blessings, feeling supreme gratitude for it all. And now I invite you on a journey. Imagine that you are walking down a hallway. At the end of the hallway is a door. The door is guarded by two emerald-colored dragons. You feel a sense of connection, of strength, and of peace from these higher dimensional beings. These are the emerald dragons of cosmic abundance. They hold the energies of alignment with your fifth dimensional blueprint, which contains your divine codes of abundance. As you approach the door, the dragons move aside, allowing you to pass, and the door opens. Stepping into a room on the other side, you notice that the walls are covered in golden citrine crystals. The golden color bathes the room in a warm golden hue like sunlight. You realize that the citrine is emanating the frequencies of abundance and prosperity. And you feel this energy surrounding you and filling all of your bodies, your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, and your energetic body. As you look around the room, you become aware of a box, almost like a chest, in the center of the room. The box is closed and has a keyhole on the top. You move closer until you're standing right in front of it. Notice how the box looks, its size, its color, what it's made of. Just notice. As you stand in front of the box, you become aware of something in your pocket. You slip your hand into your pocket and your fingers close around a key. You pull it out and look at it, noticing what it looks like, feeling its weight in your hand. You place it into the keyhole of the box, turn it, and the box gently opens. In that moment, you realize that this box contains your divine codes of abundance and prosperity. There is nothing to see with your physical eyes within the box. There is simply a knowingness as your entire being, all of yourselves and bodies are filled with these codes and keys. Codes and keys. Your human self, soul self, etheric body, light body, right down to your crystalline core, filled. You are a creator, embodying your natural state of abundance. You are a conduit for prosperity, surrounded and filled with a bounty of ease, peace, and love. You are living a new reality of blessings, feeling supreme gratitude for it all. Let us be grateful for the bounty and beauty of all that is. Your divine codes and keys of abundance and prosperity are now activated in manifest form. And so it is in this and every now moment. Take a few final deep breaths. And whenever you're ready, I invite you to return to the room and open your eyes.
You muted yourself, so you must have wanted to. Did you mean to?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well done. Man, it's hard to come back and ground yourself after a beautiful meditation like that. So thank you, Donna. That was such a gift. I know that you crafted that with intention to bless everyone here. my little box was red velvet and gold, and I had the cutest key. So thank you for that visualization. And I could just feel like a sense of the ones and zeros type codes. And so that was my experience. I know all of you had a different experience, and I'm sure it was perfect and beautiful. And Sandy, I see you. You were taking notes the whole time, and now you're sitting in meditation, and you're like, we're soul sisters. I'm the note taker, and I love to sit how you're sitting. I love that. So, guys, I just want to say thank you again to Jess. Thank you again to Donna. Thank you for coming and spending some intentional time with us. Hopefully, we helped expand your vision for what's possible for you with some specific dates, some specific things you can do with your finances, and then also the energetics behind all of it all. We are rooting for you. We are here for you. We want to help you become work optional and in a field where you're blessing other people too. So if any of the three of us can help, we will. I will send everyone the replay, and I will send everybody the links. And I know it's hard to kind of fade out after that beautiful meditation. So I just, I want to say thank you. Bless you. May you all have abundance and prosperity in 2025. And until next time, guys, namaste.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Donna.
Thanks, everyone.